Good evening, everybody. It is a beautiful day in the lovely Dallas, Texas.
Yes,
I am
ma'am.
Jardin,
And it's your girl, Nicole.
and we are here with another episode of the Playbook Diaries. Nicole, the best podcast in the.
In the freaking galaxy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling. I ain't got on. I have to do a makeup-free podcast. It's Sunday. I'm relaxing.
This is real life.
Chill.
This is what I call real life.
Yeah, for real.
This is what I call real life.
So, what do we have up for today?
So did you watch the Colorado State game?
So I did not. I did see clips from it. I was focused yelling at my TV for another game. So
Okay, so Colorado pimp slapped Colorado State 28-9. It is just so funny because Colorado State was talking a whole bunch of smack, their wide receiver and their quarterback, before the game, and they butt kicked. And shout out to Colorado for whooping Colorado State, and shout out to rivalry. It's just banter. It's sports. I love it. I like it.
I like
that's
it too,
what
but I'd
sports
be
is about.
I'd be so irritated when a team that talks the most shit doesn't win. I'm like, bitch.
Oh, so one of the players, you're too serious.
I'm like, what a loser.
So one of the players on Colorado State's team, he ran for 1 yard and he did like this, to put it the symbol, like the guy was too small. It was like, bro, you ran for 1 yard.
1 yard. Like,
he said too small.
Like some of the antics in the celebration dances, it's like what you just did not warrant the celebration. Like I think the people who have the worst, the most uncalled for celebrations has to be DBs. The quarterback will overthrow the ball and just happen to miss their target, and the DBs will be like, "No," and it's like. Them not catching the ball had nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with you.
You're 10 yards. You're 10 yards way too.
Or he does not have sticky fingers.
Way too deep. Like you were out of place. You were finna get your ass cooked if that was a good throw, and they just be like, "No." But I'm like, you stop celebrating. It had nothing to do with you. It pisses me off.
I mean, I guess I kind of get it because the ball wasn't caught. The ball wasn't caught, and that's.
But you can't be celebrating like the ball wasn't caught.
I'm happy the ball wasn't
and it was
caught.
because of you. Like, no, that's no.
What position would you play if you were a football player? Like, what position would you play for the girls?
What position would I want to play, or like with the body type that I have now? What would I be?
I guess if they're two different answers, sure, have at it.
I think that with the body type that I have now, someone told me I was built like Jalen Ramsey, and it was a day when I had like my cornrows braided back, and they was like, "You built like Jalen Ramsey," and I started saying I looked like him, but
oh wow, I don't know,
but I didn't have my wig on, but I think that my body type is for a wide receiver. I'm pretty tall and I'm long. So
you are definitely taller than the average height for a woman.
Yeah, I have a large wingspan. So maybe a wide receiver, or I think that I would be one of those annoying ass DBs.
And just celebrate unwarranted.
I'd be, yep, they think
Colorado's
cocky.
It's not cocky, it's because of me.
They think Colorado is cocky. Like, no.
I think I'll be a wide receiver. I definitely think I would either want to be a wide receiver or a quarterback. I think I have the composure for a quarterback. That would be kind of fun.
You think that you have the composure, to have your DMs, beat the fuck up every time your team loses?
Hey, hey, look, we know who's watching. Y'all are watching me, so I get it. It comes with it. I wouldn't mind being a quarterback.
That's too much stress. I couldn't be a quarterback. It's way too much stress. The quarterback and the kicker probably have to be the most stressful situations because when the game is on the line, those two are supposed to come in clutch. And it's like, bro, y'all missed 100 passes, but the ball, the game is going to fall on me. Regardless, it's going to fall on me.
No matter what y'all did, it's on me.
It essentially comes down to being on those two.
And, it makes sense. It makes sense. I just think I'll be a good quarterback because I think I have speed. And I would say I would argue that I have an arm for a girl. And so with those combos, I don't think I'll be like, I don't know. I'll be like a Patrick Mahomes. That's a strong statement, I know.
Strong as fuck,
Strong,
actually.
but should I be
I'm
insecure?
gonna let you have
Should
it.
I be confident or not? Should I
I
be
think that would be what we call like a false sense of confidence because there's absolutely nothing that could. There's no way that we could measure that in real time. Like we could
I
never
can
measure that in real life.
I cannot believe you said that. I am very surprised you would say something like that. Also, I was cold as hell in Powder Puff. Um,
Being
so
cold as hell and powder puff and comparing yourself to Patrick fucking Mahomes is two completely different things, and that's why I say it's false confidence. That you can be confident in powder puff because you have the results to show it, but to sit up there and be like, "I think I beat Patrick Mahomes," like
I think I'll be Patrick Mahomes. Who am I supposed to say? Like, I know I wouldn't be Lamar Jackson. I don't think I would be that scramble like, but I think I can do a little shimmy or two when necessary. And I think if I need to throw the ball, let's go. So, but I get
I'm
it.
gonna
I
let you,
get it.
I'm gonna let you have that one.
I get it. I get it. I get
Um,
it. But either way,
just like you can't measure it, I can't argue it because we have
because
no
we just
sort
don't
of
even
data.
we don't even know.
With that, let's move on to the scores for the week. Okay, so some of these scores are very disappointing, and these major teams, these what are now Power Four teams, you think that they would be blowing these schools out and blowing these unranked teams out, and they're not. Um,
So
Close upset. We had Georgia versus Kentucky, and that score was 13 to
to
12. And it
12.
was the number one team playing an unranked Kentucky, and they
Yeah.
won by a single point. Okay. Then we have uh, one of the only two ranked matchups that we had this week. We had Mizzou versus Boston College, where Mizzou won 27 to 21. 6 point difference. Again, too close. Too close
Times have
for
changed.
these teams to be ranked what they are. And then we have Kansas State, who played Arizona, which was the other ranked matchup. And that was Kansas State winning 31 to Arizona 7. So not a blowout. Not a blowout, but it was decent.
With the Kansas State Arizona game, I actually watched that game at the Cosm in Grandscape. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've actually heard of it. I want to go, but the tickets are the same price as going to the game. Sometimes, depending on who they have playing, it's close.
That bad boy is live. It was so dope.
Was it?
It was so dope. It is like it's like the Sphere in Vegas.
Yeah.
But you're inside, and when you're watching the game, it literally looks like you're there. It literally
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Technology is crazy.
I've seen it on Instagram. Shout out to them. I saw people complaining in the comments that the price of the tickets is like $75. Some games are $90, and it's like then you got to order food on top of that, and they're like,
yeah,
it's the same price as going to the game.
It is a different experience. It's a different ambiance. I would say I think on average the cocktail drinks are around $16. Take of that for what you may, and the food was like $20 and up. But they had like pretty good things. They like had a French dip. They had some pretty nice tacos with different flavors of wings. You know, of course, you have like monster fries. So it was cool. It was cool. So I guess that leads me to
It's in Frisco.
It's basically in Frisco. It's in the Colony.
Yeah. Okay.
It's up
Frisco.
There. It's up there.
The prices are screaming Frisco.
For sure. And it was nice though. It was super nice. So, you know, I guess it leads me to ask, what is your preferred way of watching a game? Is it at home?
In person.
It at the game in person? Let me say the answer choices.
Yeah, I already knew the answer.
But I want to ask the question. I just want to ask.
Like, go ahead, ask what questions. Go ahead, ask what questions.
You don't know what I'm going to say.
I want to hear all that rah-rah. I know the answer.
I get it.
I'm confident in my answer. My preferred way to watch a game. My preferred way to watch a game is live and in person for college games. There is no atmosphere like a collegiate football rivalry. It is unmatched.
Is it all games? Just college games? All games?
College games. NFL, I'd like to sit on my couch and turn it on at halftime.
Okay, so there's
they're
different.
Too fucking long. They're too damn
Yeah.
long.
I think my preferred way for basketball is definitely in person. For basketball, it's in person. For football, I like being at the house. The house or the
No.
bar.
I like
The house or the
basketball at a
bar.
bar. Basketball at a bar. I'll go to a bar and just chill by myself and just be talking about basketball. I mean, we both used to play it, so I'm real knowledgeable on it. I
Did
just
you
don't
get at
enjoy it.
basketball?
Girls on the A team, please.
The
A team. Don't even fucking play with me.
Did you feel insulted? I'm just asking.
I was great. I was a golf point
Was you a
guard.
post? You like 5'9". You would have to be a post.
No, I was
In
a
eighth
guard.
grade.
5'9". I was a point guard.
Okay.
I was good as a point guard.
Which is the height that you would play if you. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the position you would play.
Yeah, but let's finish this. So we had Kansas State winning against Arizona 31-7, and then the major upset of the week, which is technically not an upset, but it's upsetting the way that these motherfuckers played. LSU versus South Carolina. That's the game that I was watching. LSU, again, as always, was on some absolute bullshit, and I hope that they continue to play that way when they face my Sooners. But I needed them to win this game. So when Oklahoma plays them and hopefully beats them, the win counts for something. Yeah, I was like, well, it'll help us get in that top 12 because, I mean, LSU played like shit. Like I said in other stuff that I posted on TikTok, it's like LSU is so goddamn inconsistent. It's not even funny. Like, very, very inconsistent. But LSU ended up beating South Carolina 36-33, where South Carolina had the opportunity to tie the game with
a win.
With a 3-point field goal, and it was missed. A
win is a win.
LSU was supposed to win. Yeah, LSU was supposed to win. So what I said was an upset. Technically not upset. It was just upsetting that South Carolina could not follow through and win the game because they were winning the whole damn time.
So, yeah,
it is.
A win is a win. So some upcoming games. Do you have any more upsets? Do you have any more games?
Recap? No, you can go ahead and go with the upcoming games.
Some upcoming games: Utah versus Oklahoma State. I think I will root for Utah.
I'm gonna go for Utah too.
You're gonna go for Utah. Illinois versus Nebraska. I don't have any comments.
I'm gonna go for Nebraska.
USC versus Michigan.
I want Michigan to win. I fucking hate USC.
I will go with USC. I will go with USC. I'm gonna go with USC.
Are you going for who you want to win or who you think will win?
I'm going for who I want to win.
I want Michigan to beat the shit out of USC. I will never show any mercy towards USC. That stunt that they fucking pulled 3 years ago. They will not.
Because they took y'all coach.
Nigga, they took our coach. They took all the players. They took the staff. And then they did it so late in the transfer, portal, where Oklahoma didn't have time to recover that year.
So this is a personal thing.
We lost. It's a personal vendetta because they hold the shit out of Oklahoma, and for what? Motherfuckers haven't finished top 15 yet. So whatever.
We'll see. USC versus Michigan. We got Tennessee versus Oklahoma. Yeah, we know who you're going for. And then
I'm going for Oklahoma, but I think Tennessee's gonna kill us.
Oh, so you're not a true fan?
No, I'm a true fan, but I'm also realistic. That's one thing that sports fans lack. They lack decorum and they lack realistic expectations. And if we're going off the stats, Tennessee is going to beat the dog shit out of Oklahoma in our stadium. But I'm still going to go to the game because I am a fan. I'm going to support my boys, my dogs. But do I think we're going to win? No.
I actually think that that's the beauty of sports. Like, I don't want to say you were not unrealistic, but every day is a new day. So you should be thinking that OU is going to win.
No, I think I'm thinking correctly. I think that when we're supposed to be blowing out teams and we're not blowing them out, it's like, oh, we should have been 50-0 and we're not blowing them out. And so I'm like, okay, Tennessee, who is ranked, what is Tennessee ranked? 6 to Oklahoma's 15. I think that they're rightfully going to win. I hope that Oklahoma does beat them, but Statistically, I don't think it's going to happen. And would I place my money on Oklahoma? Hell no. But do I want them to win? Yes. I personally, I wouldn't put my money on it.
I feel it. A&M, last game, A&M versus Bowling Green. So we'll see
that has the
how
potential
that game
for upset.
We'll see how that game goes. And Alabama, they mollywopped. They just most recently mollywopped. Who did Alabama just beat? They just beat somebody.
Right. Alabama.
They just beat
I don't
Wisconsin.
have it on my list.
Alabama just beat Wisconsin 42-10. Have you heard of the butterfly effect that technically occurred when Nick Saban retired?
No. What are you referencing?
When Nick Saban retired, that spurred a butterfly effect of over 400 job changes. Literally.
In college football only?
No, ranging from high school football all the way to the pros.
So what you're saying is when he retired, coaches from high school got pulled up, college coaches moved around. Some people went to NFL, like more than 4. You're so stupid. So more than 400 coaching changes. We know a couple of those changes.
Oh yeah, we know a couple of those changes. Literally in the Power 5 at the time, more than 5 new head coaches got changed. There was a spread of 38 different positions within the major 5. I'm sorry, 38 schools had position changes in just the major 5. 34 schools of just the lower level D1. Around 12 high schools and 10 NFL programs were changed as well. Just from one man retiring. It wasn't even like he, switched a different job. He just left. Just one guy left. And then...
yeah, you just think like, oh, everybody just gets promoted. Like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, like, and then even when
maybe
you're
bringing another coach.
Right? Even when you were saying things about USC, and that's just one switch right there. Like, just imagine how much staff is moving per program. Like, that's a lot of people. So it's probably like thousands of jobs, literally.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Nick Saban, that just goes to show like his influence in college football. But I think he left at the right time. He said, I'm not dealing with these motherfuckers having money. I'm not fucking paying these motherfuckers. I'm not paying them.
I think that was a great transition for him. The time he came in, that was a great transition. He knows.
I think it was the perfect time for him to get out because, so what we're seeing this season in college football is these games. We've talked about it for 3 episodes now on how these teams the Power 5 teams are not blowing out these teams the way they used to in recent history. And it is because all these programs have money. So it's like, oh, if we just got to put our money where our mouth is and we can pay recruits to come to the school now.
Come on.
Bitch, that leveled the playing field. It's like now you got Nebraska competitive. Now, what I don't understand is how the big dog, Texas A&M, show up. Y'all got the money. The results are showing that they have the money.
I mean, they played some pretty wealthy schools. They played all wealthy schools. I mean,
it's not about that. It's about like
you're saying money.
Texas A&M is the wealthy school. So if you are the wealthy school, why are you not bringing in more talent? And that same talent shows up on the field. Like they played good this week. They started out very, very strong. They played great this week, but they're still ranked 25 and they might lose.
Right.
And be out of the top 25 this time next week.
We'll check out for A&M. They're a school with a little bit of surprises, so who knows? Who knows?
Whatever. Nicole over here bailing them out. Like, no.
We don't know.
Hold them accountable. We do know. Hold them accountable. They got the fucking money. Use it.
Notre Dame got money too. Notre Dame got some money. The schools are going to get. Everyone got money. Everyone got money.
That's what I'm saying. So because everybody has money, the playing field at all these, the Power 5 schools
Have been
and
leveled.
then the lower tier D1 schools are leveled, are a lot more leveled than they've ever been because everybody has money in terms of paying athletes. It's like, okay, yeah, we got that. So it's been more level from what I've seen so far. It's been more level than we've ever seen it before in college football, because it used to be just like these massive blowouts, and you have your like 15 programs that are on top and stay on top. You have your Oklahoma, Bama, Georgia, Clemson, Florida State, like those top programs, and they just
Florida
stay
State,
there.
0-3 now. They lost to Memphis.
They didn't pay the fucking money. They're not putting the money where their mouth is. That's why they're losing.
But
that's just this year.
Rough start.
That's just this year, though. That's just this year. But if you look at the past decade of college football, Florida State was always in the conversation.
For sure.
And now you have teams that were never in the conversation, like consistently in the conversation. So with that, let's go over to our college football rankings. Taking over, because Georgia only won by 1 point versus Kentucky this week. What was it, 13-12 in their scores. So Georgia has officially dropped to number 2 with, do you know who took over as number 1?
Texas.
Texas is ranked number 1 for the first time in 16 years. Texas, we talked about it. Texas is officially back. Texas is back.
Texas is back.
And as much as I hate to say it, I still support Texas as a program because they did come from the Big 12. And it's like, okay, like, let's show them that the Big 12 really was. I thought the Big 12 was a great conference.
We was one of them.
Yeah, so they came over with Oklahoma into the SEC, and it's like for them to start dominating their first year in the program, it's like, yeah, nigga, Texas is back.
Texas is back.
And I'm with it. And then we got Texas at number 1, Georgia at number 2, we got Ohio State at number 3, Alabama at number 4, and Ole Miss at number 5. I'm questioning the number 5 because I haven't heard any ruffles or any sounds from no noise from Ole Miss. I was like, I have to check out their schedule later because I don't know if their strength of schedule is strong enough for them to be number 5, but we'll see.
Yeah, they haven't really been going against any crazy
anybody.
Like
yeah,
that.
They haven't been.
They went against Middle Tennessee. They went against Furman, and they went against Wake Forest. Everything was a blowout. Everything.
Yeah, so I don't understand how Ole Miss is ranked number 5 because, as we tell you guys over and over again, your strength of schedule matters. If you're not playing any ranked teams, you should not be ranked. So I'm trying to figure out why Ole Miss has not played a single ranked team and they're ranked number 5, but whatever.
But last year they finished 11-2, so maybe obviously some of it comes from last year. I don't know their ranking from. I don't know who they played last year, but last year they finished fairly strong.
I mean, they're in the SEC, so they would have.
Yeah.
Realistically, they would have had to play either Georgia or Alabama, who were both at the top of their game last year. So whatever, we'll count it. We'll allow that one. We have number 6 Tennessee, which has been pretty consistent the past decade. We have number 7 Mizzou, who came out of nowhere. They did pretty good last year, but still, I don't know if they're deserving of number 7. We have number 8 Miami, which I really don't know if they're deserving of it. We
just have 9 the rankings.
Anyways, we have 9 Oregon. We have 10 Penn State, 11 fuck ass USC. We got 12 Utah. Don't care. Number 12 Utah, 13 Kansas State. Why the fuck is Kansas State ranked 13? They haven't played nobody either.
They might
Oklahoma State. And who the fuck is Arizona? That's what I'm saying. They ain't played nobody. 14 Oklahoma State, 15 Oklahoma, 16 LSU, 17 Notre Dame, 18 Michigan, 19 Louisville, don't know how they're up there, 20 Iowa State, 21 Clemson, 22 Nebraska, 23 Northern Illinois, 24 Illinois, and 25 you have inconsistent ass Texas A&M.
You couldn't just say the ranking.
No, I couldn't. You asked me, and I couldn't.
Unbiased, just boom, 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 boom.
This is not an unbiased setting. It doesn't help or prevent us from doing our jobs on this podcast if we present the information unbiased. We can be
I was just curious.
Biased. I'll be unbiased next week.
Okay, so that's all I got for college football.
Well, what games are we looking forward to next week?
Oh, the games that we're looking forward to next week, we already said. about the Utah and Oklahoma State.
Oh,
We
we
said it
did go
was.
over that. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. So what's up? What we got up next?
So one of the things I definitely want to talk about was Tua Tagovailoa. Tua
Okay.
Tagovailoa.
Okay.
In his he's in his third season in the NFL. He entered the NFL in 2021 and he is at his third concussion. And so a lot of the conversations has been, should Tua retire? After your third concussion and playing for 3 to 4 seasons, should he retire? Should he give it up? What about life after football? What do you think about that?
I think that it depends on what his end game is. And I think that you have to there are a lot of factors that would influence this. It's like if he went to Bama and his goal was to be a football player and he did what he needed to do to be a football player in the NFL and did not pay attention to his academics, did not make any backup plans while he was in college, then sure, go ahead and play. Because if you don't have a backup plan, it's like whatever. But personally, it's like what I think the biggest thing that he should consider is like what would have been his NFL profession expectancy. How long was he going to be in the league without those concussions, and how far away is he from it now? Because the concussion, they just lead to a significantly decreased
oh my
quality
gosh,
of life.
CT and CTE, just so many proven disabilities that can occur due to playing football. I mean, if I had a vote, I would 100% say it's time to retire. The remainder of this year, we can try to make a game plan, but when it's 100% time to retire, I mean, one of the things that he needs to consider is his family, in my opinion. Like your family, life after football, your quality of life. Do you want children? How long do you want to be with your children?
I mean, yeah, we know that CT is a real thing, but it's not something that we can measure right now. We don't have the technology to measure it while the person is alive. That is something that cannot be even diagnosed, and you can't tell the extent to which it's diagnosed at until post death, post mortem. It has to be after death. So you can only suspect certain things, but you can't 100% confirm it. But I do think that his best bet would be to call it quits, and he's close enough. And I mean, he's a quarterback. They have the most access in the NFL. So it's like start making moves,
start making
business moves, start presenting yourself as a businessman.
Let's talk.
Yeah, and maybe getting on a show or setting himself up in the broadcasting light. But I personally don't think that he should continue football. But again, that's up to him and what his life goal was. Which we
for
don't
sure,
know yet.
for sure. And since we are on football, Kendrick Lamar gets selected as the 2025 halftime performer in New Orleans. And, you know, instead of people celebrating that significant accolade, people are saying that Lil Wayne should have chosen Lil Wayne because it's in New Orleans. And that's what's up. I don't know. I completely disagree. Kendrick Lamar is literally at the pinnacle of his career, arguably. It is time. That's just a clear shot business move. Kendrick Lamar, for sure.
I think that a Super Bowl show would have been great with Lil Wayne. I think it would have been awesome to have Lil Wayne perform in New Orleans, but they're like everything else. We're playing business politics.
We're playing business politics.
I think that when you think about, I mean, who's in charge of the NFL halftime show? Jay-Z. Jay-Z leads that front or that initiative. And it's like, why would Jay-Z recommend someone to perform that he's not on good terms with? That's business. That's why they say you don't burn bridges. You got to watch.
Is he not on good terms with Lil Wayne?
By the narratives that have been out and the posts on like Instagram from different parties, it's like, oh, you don't speak about someone like that if y'all are on good terms.
Yeah.
And so it just looks like, you know, maybe like Young Money, you know, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Drake. It doesn't look like they're on the best of terms with like Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Interesting. I know Drake has had Jay-Z on every single album, but maybe things have changed. I think when it comes to Lil Wayne, respectfully, what has he really even been up to? I think it'll be cool if maybe he came as, a guest and he showed out real quick and then exited. But really, what has Lil Wayne really been up to? And I
I
mean,
don't
he
think
was
it's about what they've been up to because Lil Wayne is like, I mean, he's legend. We'll give him his flowers. He is legendary and he's from New
for
Orleans.
sure.
But I think when you think of Super Bowl performance, you need a big performance. And I don't know if you saw Lil Wayne's statement that he made, a video statement that he released on his Instagram. And he was saying like he was deeply hurt and, he was like embarrassed that he even thought he had a shot, etc. But by him talking in that video, I was like, oh, this man can't perform. He could have performed if he wanted to. Because his voice was so, I don't know how to describe it.
What he's been up to, he probably doing things.
We can't say probably. We can't say probably.
We can't say he's probably doing that. But he's definitely what he's been up to. That's what he's been up to. It's just like, oh, like you're not
his
even
voice,
in the position.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was in the position to perform. I mean, his voice didn't seem like all the way there. So while it would have been a legendary performance, it's like you can't even prepare for this in a couple months because it just didn't sound like the right voice.
He
could stand up for 20 minutes and perform.
Right? I gotta see what video you're talking about because to me, Lil Wayne has never really had a voice.
Stop.
But that is so you're saying voice. I need to go look at the video because to me his voice is
just like his. I mean, it was so like Lil Wayne is always mumbled, but it was just so like he just didn't like. It sounded worse than what it normally is, and he didn't seem like. That's what I'm saying, but it seems worse than what it normally is, and so I'm like, he doesn't seem like he's in the position to stand up and perform. Look at who his predecessors are in the damn Super Bowl. Like Beyonce gets up there and dances nonstop. Like, and obviously we know that like Kendrick Lamar is not going to dance nonstop, but at least we know he can get up on stage and sing or rap nonstop without passing the fuck out on stage.
2020 was in Miami was Jennifer Lopez. 2021 in Tampa was The Weeknd. 2022 in LA, they had like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and Mary J. Blige. And then 2023
as an ode to LA. So an ode to New Orleans would have been awesome.
It would have been cool, but he's not ready.
That's what I think it boils down to.
He's not ready, and Kendrick Lamar is literally that. They not like us. First off, it was completely overplayed. However, it was humongous. It was humongous. So it's like, why not Kendrick Lamar? Why not?
I mean, and Kendrick Lamar has great songs.
And he has Grammys, yeah. So he's great pick. I mean, they even say, I remember there was a lot of people who were not too much of a fan of Rihanna in 2023. And then her announcement of her being pregnant. I thought it was cute, but hey, I'm a girl. I don't know. And then 2024, Usher in Vegas was lit. That was a great performance.
Yeah.
So I think Kendrick Lamar is going to do great.
Yeah. I think he's going to be fine too. I think the stage is going to be stupid lit. It's already in New Orleans. They don't know how to fucking act down there. So I think that's a great recipe for a great party. You got motherfuckers that don't know how to act, and you got football and alcohol, and you put it together. It's like
chilling.
This shit for me lit.
You chilling.
But I mean, it could go. So I don't like, I don't like throwing politics into sports, but sometimes it does boil down to it. I think that when you look at Jay-Z heading the Super Bowl like he's over the Super Bowl performances and he determines who does what.
Mm-hmm.
And Beyonce and Jay-Z are huge supporters of Kamala, presidential candidate.
For sure.
And Lil Wayne is a huge supporter of President Trump. Do we think that played a role? I personally do think that it plays a role. I think that in the presidential elections where Trump has been involved, it hasn't been like other presidential elections in the past because I feel like people take elections with President Trump a lot more personally because he has done morally incorrect things and
he is
morally corrupt things. And so
for
people
sure.
take it personally because he speaks about different racial groups, different religious groups, specifically to where it's like, no, this is personal. So if you
China,
vote for him,
China,
yeah.
China,
So it's
China,
like, if
China,
you vote for
China.
him, it's like you're disrespecting
Me. Some people
me.
feel that way.
It's
Some
not,
people feel
yeah,
that
and
way.
it's not about like, oh, tax breaks and stuff. It's like, yeah, whatever the tax breaks are, it's not worth the dangerous rhetoric that our
Comes with
previous, like,
his
that comes
choice.
with Trump. And so I think that because Lil Wayne has spoken out in support of President Trump, I think that Beyonce and Jay-Z's position is like, we can't stand with Kamala
And support you.
and still support you, who
For
is
sure.
outwardly supporting him, which is dangerous rhetoric for African Americans. And that's just as
For
simple as
sure.
that. It's like,
You
we
know,
can't do both.
Trump, first off, I definitely am not one to talk too much about politics in general. Definitely go vote. Everyone should vote. Please, you need to vote. However, Donald Trump is probably the most divisive presidential candidate we've ever had. Like,
Yeah.
he's so crazy divisive. It's ridiculous. So divisive
Yeah.
that bring up what we were previously discussing about what is this whole thing about just liking an Instagram photo.
Okay, so politics and sports, so sports is always reflective of the society in which we live in, right?
Definitely a
Now,
microcosm.
what you include as that society is up to you, and it might change per circumstance. So it's like, it might be politics in your city or your neighborhood or your state or your country, how wide the political sphere is for certain like arguments is different. But so on Instagram, it was a huge deal. Taylor Swift came out in support of Kamala Harris, which I'm not gonna lie, that actually surprised me too, because I didn't think she was. Yeah, it did. It actually did. Because I'm like, I think about who the Swifties are, and I was just like, "Ooh, bold move."
But you know what's crazy?
My ass up.
What's crazy is I do think that Taylor Swift is powerful. And don't come after me, Beehive. Taylor Swift is powerful, similar to how Beyonce is powerful, and how Beyonce can proudly say who she's voting for. I do think that Taylor Swift is powerful enough to state who she's going to vote for. And,
without it affecting her pockets. Yeah, I agree.
Like 100%. Because she has a lot of female followers who believe in reproductive rights and, reproductive rights and IVF.
So it makes sense. I just was thinking, like, Taylor Swift, the tax bracket that she's in,
she got the money.
Which party would benefit her more? And then I think I was more so surprised that she would outwardly come out and say it, because when we're in school for like PR and journalism, no response is definitely a response.
For sure.
Not saying who you vote for is definitely a response, and some people respect it and some people don't respect it. But I think whenever you're at Taylor Swift's level, it's just like, just let people wonder.
I think she's so powerful. First off, I don't think no response is actually a response. They actually,
it is. It tells you what your celebrity fave prioritizes. It tells you what they think is important. It tells you how serious they are about certain matters. So if they're not speaking on matters that are important to you, it's like that doesn't matter to them, or maybe it doesn't matter enough, or they value something else over letting you know their position on this stance.
But I can say go vote, and that's not really me saying a response, though. It's not me saying I voted for Trump or Kamala. I'm just saying, go vote.
That's one thing. Saying go vote is one thing. Response. And Taylor Swift had the opportunity to say go vote, but she didn't say go vote. She said, "I'm supporting Kamala."
Yeah,
she's supposed to know who she's voting for. I was surprised. That's what I was surprised at. I was surprised.
Yeah, you were surprised she said it.
Said who she was voting for, because it didn't start off that way. The Instagram post started off as, I would encourage everybody to look into, dive into their own research as to the, the political candidate that makes more sense for you, and somewhere in there, and let you know she was voting for Kamala. Now the issue right now is that we have the beloved Caitlin Clark. America's
basketball sweetheart.
Caitlin Clark didn't say shit. She said,
All she did was like the
She
photo.
just
All she did
double
was
tapped
like
the
the
photo.
post.
She liked Taylor Swift's photo and got more backlash than Taylor Swift did.
It's crazy. And it's actually really crazy because society is about to drive that girl into a shell. Because it's like she can't do anything.
She can't do shit. And that's not a type of celebrity that I want to be. That's why I'm glad we got canceled during the Cody Ford episode. So people's expectations of us are low. It's like, I'll take being morally corrupt in the early stages, so we're never held to the standard of like, you're supposed to be perfect. And I feel like they have such unrealistic standards for Caitlin Clark. And they have
completely
since
unrealistic.
she got into the WNBA.
Completely unrealistic expectations. And every single time she is drawn into a conversation, I feel like social media and society has literally turned it into race. And it's starting to get it's so annoying.
Tiring. It's annoying. It's tiring. And it's just like, I know Caitlin Clark ass go home and be like, and I get why she doesn't have social media, because it's like, leave me the fuck alone. But like, so fun fact, the average American has the IQ, the knowledge, the comprehension level of an 8th grader. Okay, keep that in mind. The average American sports fan has the average comprehension rate or level of a 5th grader. So you have people who collectively have the comprehension of a 5th grader, a 10-year-old, taking information however they want
to read it. They want to read it.
Whether their perception is incorrect, correct, they don't care. They're not checking their resources. They're not doing their own research. And you have those people who genuinely believe my favorite actors and actresses and my favorite sports fan has to agree with me on everything.
And they owe me a duty. They owe me a duty.
That's weird. That's weird. I like Beyonce, but I'm not looking at her for political advice. I'm not like, oh, I don't like Beyonce anymore because I think this way and she thinks this way. Like, no. Me and Beyonce are in 2 different tax brackets. If she wants to vote according to how much money she makes, I will respect it.
She has the right.
She has the right. Bitch, you're a billionaire.
She has the right. The thing about it is, America, social media is because we're behind a screen. And so we're just completely desensitized to everything. And it's getting wilder and wilder.
But it's unfair. It's unfair. Caitlin Clark is still 22 years old.
22.
That's still a kid, honestly. I mean, that's still a kid.
Do you know so the people who be really bullying are the people who got 1 or 2 photos. They got like a dog as their profile pic or like an orange.
Just an anime photo.
And it'll be like user 345 and 2. Or it'll just be like Cody's sweetheart. Like, I don't know. Like some crazy Cody's sweetheart 953 Baltimore. Like just some crazy whatever. And those are the bots that just say whatever the hell they want to say.
They say they want, and I think it's just like when you decide to get on social media, you have to it's your responsibility to determine what you can and cannot handle. And it's like, log off. Do not let nobody bully your ass through the screen. You don't know if this is a dog. You don't know if this is a dog texting you, or if it's a 12-year-old messaging you, or if a 60-year-old is messaging you. You can't take it. You can't take it seriously. I mean, we had our fair little share of bullying. We laughed it off, but that's not the average response. I mean, that Cody Ford episode, y'all tried to bully the shit out of us, and we were just
tried to bully. Damn. They tried to bully us so much. I'm like, I'm actually usually liked. Oh,
we've never not been liked. They was like,
this is new.
Bitch, hell no. You're canceled before you even started.
But what did you say? Dead. What did you say? The reading comprehension level. You said the reading comprehension or the IQ. The
IQ, the comprehension level of the average American is at the 8th grade level. So whatever we said in the interview, we thought that there were a lot of misconceptions, but it's like there's a lot of different ways on why something can be misread. Cultural context, educational background. We had knowledge that they don't have. They may or may not have knowledge that we don't have. There's so many things going on.
Jardin, it can literally be someone had a bad day. So
Yeah.
it can be anything. It can be someone
Or
slammed their
simply,
door.
yeah, it's simply, that's my bitch, that's my favorite, and y'all not finna
And you
fucking,
say,
and y'all not finna
yeah.
interview her ex. I'm not okay with it.
And I mess with the loyalty, so I respect it. I respect the
Yeah, it's like,
loyalty.
it's cool. Like, we took it for what it is. We're not dumb girls. We knew we was going to get so much hate. We never once thought that we were going to interview Cody Ford and we were going to get more positive feedback than negative. We knew that from the jump.
I did not know that.
But
I
I
did not know
told you,
that.
I told you before the episode, I said, Nicole, I'm gonna let you know this now. Me and Cisco told you. We said it's not going to be a good reception. No matter how good we do, because we said her fans are like the
Are
Barbs.
going crazy. No, for sure. So
They're
no,
like the Barbs.
I knew that was gonna come about. I think yeah, I didn't expect to be called a pick me. I'm like, oh,
I
if you
wasn't
really
expecting
knew
that
me,
one.
so that's what I mean. If you really knew me, you would know a pick me. Is it opposite day?
We don't give a damn about no man.
Yeah.
Not my man. But
Not mine.
generally, yeah.
But
Generally, the general thought, in my opinion, I really don't care for the opinion of men, particularly. But you know, I wasn't expecting. I mean, people were out there saying crazy stuff. They're like, "Did Cody pick y'all?" And I'm like, "That was never our intention." But okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get on social media, that's why there's age limits on social media, because the idea is that you want someone on your social platforms that's old enough, with enough frontal lobe formation and solidification, that they can like it's fully developed to where it's like, okay, if someone's bullying us, like, let's log the fuck off. Like, when we got all that hate from that interview, it's like, okay, but like, we checked in with each other, and it's like, all right, if it's getting that bad, bitch, log off. I never logged off. It's like, y'all just gonna have to get the fuck over it, and that was my stance on it. Like, whatever.
And people are pretty over it. So
yeah, we get a couple of trickles of like comments now, but it's just like, whatever. Like, we can do a week of hate. It's okay.
Welcome to the Playbook Diaries podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna say some outlandish shit sometimes, but we invite y'all to argue with us or discuss it with us.
Yes, I invite you into, I don't know.
But
anything else? We'll get over else?
So, okay, are we telling our fans, like, we have an episode next week? No, yay, nay. We're not doing it because you're out traveling for work next week.
I'm out traveling for work. I kind of don't really want to make any promises. I just want to see what I'm just going to try the best I can.
Okay, we'll
see you guys later.
We'll see you guys later, but let's make a couple real. We'll put out some content for you guys.
Check back on Tuesday. Check back on the social media Instagram and TikTok, YouTube Shorts. We'll get back to you.
Yeah. All right. So, we're the Playbook Diaries, and we are signing out. My name is Jardin,
and it's your girl Nicole. And have an amazing week. Peace.